I'm pleased to bring to the stage another one of our co-hosts, Her Excellency Hilda Mafudze, the Africa Union Ambassador to the United States. Welcome, Ambassador.
I think today we are celebrating the beauty of in-person meetings. It's a bit cold, but I think we should embrace it. Thank you very much, and I would say, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this high-level event commemorating the World Malaria Day. We underscore the importance of global solidarity and shared responsibility to defeat malaria. African Union member states have demonstrated consistent political commitment to end AIDS, TB, and eliminate malaria in successive Abuja commitments since the year 2000. This has been translated into action through country-owned and harmonized continental strategic frameworks, such as the Catalytic Framework to End AIDS, TB, and Eliminate Malaria in Africa by 2030. There has been concerted efforts, actions at the national, regional, and global levels to defeat malaria, including far-reaching and unprecedented global mechanisms such as the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, TB, and Malaria, and the US President's Malaria Initiative, among others. African countries have increased domestic resource mobilization for malaria. I heard my colleague talking about that. This is really on the ground. They have increased domestic resource mobilization for malaria, and the 24 countries in Africa are in the process of establishing national and malaria councils, in short EMCs, and the funds to drive multi-sectoral support for the fight against malaria. EMCs and funds have raised 17.8 million in additional resources towards malaria, proving themselves to be effective mechanisms to fund existing resource gaps in nutritional malaria control programs. In addition to all these efforts, there's been a big push to engage economic communities on malaria in line with the EU's agenda to increase regional coordination for more integration and maximum impact, involving young people to harness the demographic dividend and the digitalization agenda for evidence-informed policies and programs. Ladies and gentlemen, sustaining essential malaria activities and other health services will require an increase in available resources, especially from the Global Fund. The Global Fund provides 56% of total funding for malaria services programs. The Global Fund has contributed significantly to the successes we have seen to date in the fight against malaria. And the Global Fund has allowed us to save the lives of more than 10 million children since the year 2000. This means that there are millions of children on our continent who have grown up to be health workers, teachers, innovators, and shopkeepers, among as many other careers, who would have previously died of malaria. The next replenishment of the Global Fund begins in 2022. African heads of states and governments have launched the Global Fund replenishment cycle with a key ask of 18 billion needed to stem the tide against AIDS, TB, and malaria. Together with His Excellency President Macky Sall, President of the Republic of Senegal, and the Chair of the African Union, His Excellency President Felix Tshisekedi of DRC, His Excellency President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, and His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, kickstarted the Global Fund to fight AIDS, TB, and malaria 7th replenishment to rally the African countries and the global community to commit to the 7th replenishment of the Global Fund to sustain the progress to that which has been achieved against AIDS, TB, and malaria over the last 2 decades. The Global Fund has been key to the successes so far through unprecedented private-public partnerships and is more important than ever before. In the previous replenishment, a record number of African countries made commitments to fund AIDS, TB, and malaria. I call on our AU member states to renew their commitments as we continue to advocate to the global community, including to bilateral development partners, private sector, philanthropists, and high net worth individuals to make commitments toward the replenishment of the Global Fund by demonstrating the significant achievements that have been made as a result of Global Fund financing in our countries. This will send a strong political signal to the international community that Africa is playing its part in addressing the broader health and development agenda. Thus, it is important for countries to renew their commitments to the fund, to the Global Fund, and to support the advocacy efforts to ensure that it is successfully replenished. Brothers and sisters, the purpose of this event is to build momentum for the Global Fund 7th replenishment by celebrating implementing countries' ownership and accomplishments to date in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, while recognizing the need to redouble efforts to recover ground in the fight against malaria, demonstrating the impact and the potential of global health partnerships as the Global Fund in the US President's Malaria Initiative to save lives from malaria, advance SDGs 3 targets to end the ancient pandemics of malaria, HIV, and tuberculosis, and ensure a healthier and safer world for all. Engaging malaria endemic countries, political appointees, government officials, and diaspora to foster continuous advocacy for support for the global programs, particularly for the 7th Global Fund replenishment, and providing a platform, momentum for high-level representatives from donor countries, including the US, as host of the 7th Replenishment Conference, to recommit to fight for what it counts and save 20 million lives from 2024 and to 2026. I wish you fruitful deliberations. Zero malaria starts with me. Zero malaria starts with you. I thank you.